Wolverhampton Hall students live in harmony most of the time, but today two halls want to settle something once and for all. Who is the best chef? Our chefs today are from Gloucester House and Yorkshire House. Jack is making an all-American omelette and Natalie is cooking a salmon and prawn linguine.
I will be frying the shallot with some lemon and dill olive oil.
Jack explains his reasons behind his choice of dish.
I'm a huge fan of breakfast and I always try to make the most of my breakfast. My home place in New Hampshire is much bigger for breakfast and we usually have massive pancakes and whatnot.
For 4 people, you use about 500 grams of pasta and it takes about 10 minutes to cook.
If you're gonna make a bacon omelet, you have to make sure that the bits are really small, so you have to make sure it's extra crispy, so it might take a little longer just to make the bacon.
I'm going to put in 300 millilitres of reduced creme fraiche into my onions. This looks quite thick, but when you reduce it down, well, once it's all stirred together, it goes nice and creamy sauce.
Jack gives us some handy tips about beating eggs.
I usually whisk it with a fork because that's how my parents have always done it. But you always want to make sure that the froth just about to start, so just give it like 1 more minute after the froth starts to start.
You always add pasta to sauce, never sauce to pasta. I think that's right. It's what Jamie Oliver says.
I put everything back into the frying pan with the bacon fat because I believe it gives more of a meatier taste.
The stakes have been raised as a bet is placed.
Lisa has to do the washing up.
Deal.
It's the moment of truth for Jack's omelette as he attempts a flip.
If something like this happens, then what you're going to want to do is just act as though you did make the flip.
Not the best advice there, Jack. Picking a winner out of these two very different dishes is no mean feat. And there is no one better to judge than the residential assistants, Emma and Jazz.
Quite nice. I think the pasta was a bit stringy, could have been better, cooked a bit more, but pretty nice. It was quite nice. I mean, you could have used a bit more flavouring and salt and so on.
The texture's good. It had a good texture.
It's results time for the chefs.
Let's start with the omelette. I thought it was really nice, quite tasty, but the downside was the presentation.
Well, the linguine was presented really well. It tasted good and the lemon was a nice addition to the side.
There can only be one winner, unfortunately. And the winner is Yorkshire.
Natalie wins with her linguine. Looks like Jack is doing the washing up.